Hello there and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be, well, looking at a bag of random wires I got from a flea market. So down the road there was a church flea market slash yard sale slash craft fair, and yeah, there were a bunch of crafts going on, not so much of the yard sale stuff that I'm too interested in. There's a lot of housewares and things like that, clothes and stuff, but I did stumble across some cool things. There was a neat Brother word processor typewriter type thing, and it was $5. I almost picked it up. However, I'm really more into the ones that have a floppy disk drive or a printer port or a serial port on them, so I did pass on this one. And I did keep looking. There was a table with some video games, nothing really I was too interested in, and there were some other cool things. I picked up my little buddy Steve here, ouch, and I picked up a bunch of wires. So the story behind this is there was a bag of wires in these bags just sitting on the ground, and I bent down to take a look through them, and I'm rummaging through the bag, see if there was anything good. And the seller comes over and says, you can take the whole bag for a dollar. I just take it. I said, okay, well, I can't argue with that. Here's $1. And then I saw this bag right next to it, and I said, well, I'll give you 50 cents for the rest of the adapters there. And she's like, sold. So for $1.50, I have a bunch of wires to go through, and I haven't really looked through them other than my short rummaging around from them at the flea market. But yeah, let's take a closer look and see what type of goodies I have in these bags, and see if we have anything useful that we could use in future videos. So let's get right into it. Okay. Alright, we have a Kyocera, or however you pronounce that, cell phone charger. And the tip is actually broken off. Okay, we're off to a good start. There should be a yellow plastic tip there. It is just bare metal, but maybe I could just splice this off and use it for something. But not the best out of the gate there. Okay, what else we got? A little baggie. USB plus whatever. That's great. Okay, yeah, that's just a standard USB-B cable, which are very, very useful for zip drives or old printers, stuff like that. I like where this is going. Let's see. What's this? A Turk AC adapter. Turk Technologies. 12 volt DC, 200 milliamp. Has a almost like a headphone style jack. Reminds me of the Atari power supplies. Okay. We have this thing right here. This is an RF modulator, so let's undo the wire here. For those of you who are not familiar with these, they're pretty handy, especially with old retro computers and stuff. Especially if you have an older television set, a very old television set. So what this allows you to do is take the coaxial output here and goes to your old TV that may only have the coaxial input. So you plug in something that is composite video into these jacks here, so your yellow, your white, and your red, and you plug in a coaxial cable from here to your television, and it allows that TV to get composite or S-video, in this case as well, video input. Very handy on an old TV or a capture card. Also can be handy if you're using an old computer and let's say you're trying to interface it from composite video to coaxial on an old TV or something like that. Very handy. Has a channel 3, channel 4 selector here, and there is no power button, but there's a red LED light to tell you it's on. These were manufactured by a bunch of different companies. This almost looks like a Radio Shack one, but there's no label or sticker on it. RF modulator catalog PH61159. Yeah, that's all we get there. But alright, that's pretty neat. I have a bunch of those, but I guess the ones with the S-video are pretty useful too. So can't go wrong with that. Well, we have a coaxial cable, so antenna cable, coaxial cable, whatever you want to call it, cable. So yeah, probably not the best one, but it's there. It's included in the pile. Got another coaxial cable, and these are very useful because you don't have to screw them in. I always liked these when I was a kid and I was plugging in our Sega or our Atari to the TV, because they just snapped right in instead of screwing them in. Especially a lot of these VCRs and TVs, they did not have adequate thumb space. and they were trying to save space, especially the later ones in the 2000s or so. I was always fumbling with those. So these are very helpful, especially today, if you have one of those old TVs. Hopefully you don't. I mean, well, hopefully if you have one, you're using it well. But hopefully you don't have to use that as your only input source. Another coaxial cable, okay. And another one. This is 90% coaxial cables. Another coaxial cable. It's a rather short one, but looks like the type that they would give you at a cable company. In fact, sometimes they actually have the date stamped on here. There's a 10 on here. That might be 2010. I know when I used to live in a different place and we had cable and they ran new cable lines, the date was actually stamped on the metal bit here, which told them or maybe it was a plastic bit that surrounded it, that basically told them when the cable was installed, which I guess was very helpful if you're going to places with no records and trying to update things. This is a weird little one. My goodness, look how short that cable is. That's probably like, what, 11 inches? Jeez. That's a short one. This is a Homedics 12 volt 400 milliamp. So, yeah. Probably for a, I don't know what that's for. A thing. It's for a thing. That's what it's for. Alright, what else we got here? Another one. Tangle lamp. Really? So you're going to name your lamp Tangle lamp? Well, you get tangled with this long wire. Huh? That was Steve's joke. That wasn't my joke. This is 12 volts, 800 milliamp. Okay. So, another random power supply. And this fell out there. Looks like USB-B cable. This looks like one they would have given you, like if you bought a cable modem back in the day with the USB port. And the reason they did that is because a lot of computers did not have Ethernet. And so they gave you USB as just a general compatibility thing. And what does this say? Oh, insert CD-ROM before connecting to the USB cable. Yeah, this is probably for a cable modem. Because you needed a driver to use it, and it probably would get very confused you plugging one of these in without the right drivers. So, good to have. Again, always good to have one of those for a zip drive or a printer or something like that. A toilet paper or paper towel tube. This is definitely a toilet paper tube. Do you want this? Maybe? No? Okay. Your actual bunny friends will enjoy it. Alright, we got another one here. Oh, a Samsung one. This is for a cell phone. Wow, that's small text. 5 volts, 0.7 amps. Okay. So, for a Samsung cell phone, I think I actually have a Samsung cell phone that this will plug into. That might be useful. Alright, what do we have next? Oh, this is the one that I saw. Oh, here's all tangled. Hopefully the end is still on it. There we go. This is the one I saw in the bag that prompted me to start digging through it further. This is a Nintendo power adapter for the original Nintendo Entertainment System that we got here in the US. And yeah, it has a lot of electrical tape on it, and it has been cut open at some point. Whether it was dropped or it was intentionally cut open to repair something. Yeah, not the prettiest looking power supply. But if it works, it works. So, are the screws still in there? Yeah, but they've been stripped. I think those are security bits in there. But anyway, they look like it after what happened to this poor power supply. Might still be useful, but I'm gonna proceed with caution on this one. Okay, we have a Nokia power supply. What is this? Oh, that's a tiny little plug. Very, very tiny. Very tiny. I don't think I have a... This is for probably a much newer Nokia device than I've ever had. Output 5 volts, 350 milliamps. Okay, well. Put you in the pile. And, oh boy. Right, HDMI cable here or something? Or two of them. It's just an HDMI cable, a GE branded HDMI cable. They're not too wiggly or anything, so this might actually still work. It never hurts to have a spare one for the video scaler I have here, or an old Apple TV, or an old monitor. I have tons of DVI to HDMI cables, but surprisingly I don't have too many spare HDMI cables, at least before I keep losing them. So that's not bad to have, assuming that works. And it looks like we have another one. Yeah, another GE branded HDMI cable. Okay, so more HDMI goodness to go around, I suppose. Okay, what else we got? An unbranded power supply. Oh wait, there's a tag on it. Dirt Devil. Okay, this is for a vacuum cleaner, one of those hand-powered portable, not hand-powered, but handheld vacuum cleaners. Where's the other end of the plug for this? Oh, that's a weird plug. Look at that. That's it has a chunky base, and then it has it almost looks like the back of like an Apple TV power supply, or an old Xbox, or a PlayStation 2, or something like that. It's obviously not, but it kind of looks that way. Just the connectors there. And this is, it says right on here it's 16 volts. This is has an output of 6 to 18.2 volts and 400 milliamps. So, anybody have a Dirt Devil that needs a power supply? I got your power cord right here. I have no idea if this will ever be useful to me, but especially that weird cord on the end. But in the pile it goes. Okay, we have looks like maybe a video cable here. Oh yeah, here we go. This is not a bad cable to have. This is a looks like a mono video cable. So you have a composite cable, and then you have a what may be used for audio, or this could also be used for some type of video signal. Sometimes they have composite out and composite in, but it's the same mini jack for like a DVD player or something like that. One of those portable devices. Or I've also seen S-Video being broken out into two, which may or may not be as pretty as a clean S-Video signal. But yeah, this is probably a video and mono audio cable for like a DVD player or a camcorder or something like that. But not a bad idea to have one of these, because sometimes if you use the stereo version of these, the pins are just not set up the right way, and you could just get a weird signal and you have to fiddle around with them. So not a bad cable to have. Okay, we are winding down here. We have a big power supply here, a General Electric. This is a 14 volt 700 milliamp power supply, and no date on it, made in Taiwan, for use with telephones. Well, thankfully that actually has what it's designed for on it. I would never have guessed. Look at that. That's probably for maybe a wireless telephone or an answering machine system or something like that, but has a barrel tip at the end, and that could be useful for something, I'm sure. Okay, we have what used to be a white cable and is all dirty now. This is a Uniden, and this is probably for a telephone. 9 volt, 210 milliamps. Okay. Has a little yellow tip at the end of there, and it's very nice. It actually tells you the polarity, which is positive is the center pin. So thank you for the companies that put that little thing on there. That's very helpful. All right, we got a standard computer, what is it, IEC power cable, something like that. So can never have enough of these. I once in a while I'll be like, oh, I need another power cable, and I'll look in my basement and I'm like, where are they? And I have like a billion of them, but I just can't find it at the time. So good to have that. And another Samsung power adapter, and there's a tag on there, DJ. So this is probably Dominic's power adapter. Or maybe they were moonlighting as a DJ, and this was their cell phone power adapter. Who knows? This is a 5 volt 0.7 amp power adapter, and it has that trademark slim little crazy proprietary connector that a lot of cell phone devices had in the early 2000s, and this one is no difference. That's a Samsung port. Fancy that. And is this another one? No, this is a PCD branded AC/DC adapter. 5 volt, 700 milliamp, and a bunch of tags on this. Hold on. Let's untangle this. This definitely looks like it's for a cell phone of some type. Probably an aftermarket one. Yeah. For use with CDM8935, CDM8960, 8630, 8965, 8950, M8975, TXT80110. Yeah, that is definitely cell phone sounding. This is an interesting little adapter. Again, has a proprietary port there for some type of cell phone, and the little squeezy buttons there to release it. This says, oh, that's in French. This says charging information. The typical charge times for full standard batteries are 2.5 hours. Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, definitely for a cell phone or something like that. All right, we only got 2 wires left in this bag. How is this tangled? All right. This is a Fisher-Price power adapter, okay. Output 9 volt DC 100 milliamps, and then output 7 volt DC 200 milliamps. Center positive pin polarity. So yeah, this is for something. Okay, for a toy of some type. It's interesting that it lists that it's 9 volts and 7 volts, so it's a smart power supply. AC adapter 71566. So, and if you know what this goes for, put it in the comments. That'd be cool. All right, and then we have just another PC power cord, and this one is labeled monitor. So we know this was used in a monitor at some point in time. Surprise, surprise. That's pretty neat. All right, a little bent there. We can bend that back. Okay, so that was that bag. Let's get on to the smaller bag. Okay, and this sticker is definitely from a Cablevision Optimum Online Internet Service Provider. This was probably given to them with a new modem. It actually says a voice modem on there, and we could probably guess that the USB cable that we saw earlier and the coaxial cable were probably bundled with whatever was in this bag at some point in time. That's just a guess. I could be wrong. Let's open the bag up and see what we got inside here. Alright, so we don't have too many goodies in here. I could guess 2 of these off the bat. Yep, these are Hewlett-Packard HP printer power adapters. And you could tell because they have this funky connector here, which is color-coded apparently to just make it easier to use on some printers. I remember giving away a purple-tipped one to somebody at the Trenton Computer Festival a few years ago. They were so happy because they were like, "Oh, I have the printer for this," and I'm like, "If you want it, you can have it." I don't have the printer for it anymore. I tossed it. This is a power adapter 09572146, and the voltage on this is plus 32 volts, 940 milliamps, and plus 16 volts, 625 milliamps. So you have a printer that goes with that, and that might be handy for you. We got a USB cable in here. Bonus! It's another USB A to B cable here. Good for printers, zip drives, scanners, what have you. This is a Belkin branded one. These are neat to have. I could always use a bunch of these, especially when I'm doing videos like the iMac video, when I have a bunch of USB devices and hubs and stuff like that. So that will go in the pile. And what else we got here? Oh boy. Got 2 wires left and they're tangled? Are you serious? Okay. Alright, this is a Leader Electronics. We are the leader of electronics. Caution, risk of electric shock. Dry location use only. Okay. ITE power supply, model number T481510000 3CT. And that's 00, not 00. Bingo! This is a 15 volt, 1000 milliamp power supply. And it actually has a little brick in line there, so you actually have the smaller plug to plug into your power strip so it doesn't take up the entire power strip there. And a little barrel tip there at the edge. And center pin positive. So that could be useful for something, I guess. Or just cut off the tip of that and try and use it for something else. I do have some devices I don't have power supplies for, and that's why I picked this bag of wires up, because you never know if you get the right voltage, you could just power something. I should just get a bench power supply, but if you guys have bench power supplies, let me know a good one in the comment section. I might pick one up. And here's another Hewlett-Packard one. This is an HP power adapter 09504392. Maximum output power 18 watts. It's plus 32 volt, 500 milliamps max. 15 volt, 530 milliamps max. What's nice is it gives you a little diagram there telling you which pin is actually delivering what power, and it's a little hard to see probably on this camera because of the lighting and the focusing, but that's what is being referred to by the voltages there, telling you what's coming out of what pin. And if you compare that to something like this, these are a little different. So although the same voltage is coming through, the amperage is different. So I guess that's why they have the different colored tips on there. But interesting. But that's it for our wires here. Our mystery bag of wires is empty. So I think we achieved what we set out to do, and that was to look at a bag full of wires that I picked up from a flea market. And yeah, for $1.50, I can't complain. There's a bunch of spare cables here I could use, a bunch of power adapters I could slice into without worrying about them because I paid $1 for them, so who cares? And a bunch of USB cables and power cables and some coaxial cables that never hurts to have too many of them. That's a good money. And if you want to see more of these vlog type videos, please let me know in the comments section, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are not already subscribed. That'll be cool. And I am on Twitter and Instagram. My handle is Mac84TV. And as always, if you want to support me on Patreon, please do so by going to patreon.com/Mac84. And you can support me for as little as $1 a month. You get exclusive videos and access to a bunch of things that you just can't get anywhere else, and it supports the channel, so that's awesome. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you right here on Mac84.